I gotta give a big thanks to today's sponsor, Straight Arrow News. Stick around. Hey, what's up guys? ShartimusPrime here, doing another Marvel Legends action figure review on the 2025 Spider-Man Retro Card Waves animated series Chameleon. Yes, this is one that I really wanted, and I didn't think I was going to find it out in the wild, but I did find this at my local Target over the weekend, and holy crap, I'm stoked. I actually have a second one on the way that I bought online, but hey, I'm happy to have one in hand. It looks really cool so far already. It says Manipulative Mimic right over here up on the top, which is kind of funny because in the comics, Chameleon, especially in the early days, he has to change everything on his own. Like, he has to change stuff out and do all the work. With this version, I remember he would just have to like turn the dial on his belt and he'd immediately impersonate somebody else, which I thought was actually a little bit cooler. It wasn't really realistic for him to keep being such a strong villain and have to change himself all the time. On the back, you can see the other figures from the wave. Get the little blueprint image and a read-up over here. If you want to read it, go ahead and pause it right now. Nothing on the top, nothing on the bottom right over there. So let's get to it and crack this thing open. But first, I have to give a big thanks to today's sponsor. I don't know about you guys, but for me personally, I have a hard time finding unbiased news sources. They're either heavily left-leaning or heavy right-leaning, and Straight Arrow News is the answer. They provide unbiased news, which I find to be incredibly refreshing. And they have this cool segment on there that I was just watching earlier today called The Bias Breakdown, where they don't only talk about the specific topic, but they also talk about what other media outlets are saying and what parts of the conversation they're focusing on. I found it to be very refreshing. I highly recommend you download it right now or go to san.com/prime. The app is totally free, and I recommend you use my link down in the description below. Download Straight Arrow News today. And here's the Chameleon out of the packaging. And I gotta say, this is a pretty solid figure. It's very much the animated series Chameleon figure that I've wanted to see. And I gotta say, I'm pretty happy with it. There's some accessories that I wish we would have gotten that we don't have with this, so that's probably going to be my biggest gripe, but so far, pretty stoked about it. Anyway, let's get a closer look at the accessories, and then we'll take a closer look at the figure. I wish we had gotten some interchangeable heads like we did with the classic Toy Biz figure. That would have been nice, you know, but I guess Hasbro's assuming that we have enough interchangeable heads laying around. We have weapon-holding hands, fist hands, and these two guns that we've seen plenty of times before, which look okay. Nothing to get really excited about. I did have an issue with a finger going into the trigger hole of this gun right over here, so that always irks me when I get this. It's like the finger won't go through the hole. Go through the hole, damn it. So I always have to pose it like that. So that's annoying, but other than that, the gun looks okay. And you have the alternate hinges right here as opposed to the vertical ones that move up and down or sideways, however you want to look at it, damn it. And we have the J. Jonah Jameson face mask right over here, which is creepy as hell. It does look very scary. Here it is next to the latest JJJ head sculpt that we've seen from the animated series. You can see the hair is not really the same color. Then getting him to hold this is always a little tricky. You do want to use this gun-holding hand, of course. The way they sculpted it, it looks like it's contoured for these fingers to go in here. And it is tricky, and I did have some paint come off, but there it goes. And that looks pretty good. So you can see how I have that in there. So get the thumb around that little piece that's sticking out there. It's a little thumb port for you. He just uses his dial. He doesn't have masks like this, but it was a cool accessory to have. Oh, it's so freaky. Oh. Now, as far as this head sculpt goes and the paint on it, I think Hasbro absolutely nailed it. I love how this came out. Now, I just wish we got a second one of him smiling. Having an extra head sculpt of him smiling would have been really cool to have, but I really like this one as it is. The gray paint on it looks really, really damn good, man. I'm very, very pleased with it. This is awesome. Really like this a lot. Here's the first one that we'd gotten from Hasbro. This is the comic version, which looks good with the blue paint on it. I like this one still, but damn. I don't think I'm going to replace this comic version with this one right over here on the shelf. I'll probably put him somewhere else, but damn it, I really like it a lot. And it looks like we're mostly getting new stuff throughout with this figure. I do like this chest. It looks really good. Then we have these shoulder pads over here. The arms look really good. I love all the wrinkles that we're seeing in here. No paint detail on the figure at all. I prefer no cell shading from Hasbro. If it was a different company, I would probably want cell shading. People left comments about that when I did the Spider-Man Unlimited review, and yeah,
yeah, I just don't want to see cell shading on their figures anymore because I don't think they're very good at it. This could be a little irritating, and there is some gappage at the waist joint right over there. I do see that, so I wish that was like a little bit, you could smush it to be a little bit closer, but still it's annoying. And yeah, getting this centered, it's a little finicky. I wish they gave us just a little bit more slack with this strap over here. That would just make it a little bit easier to work with and position properly. So I guess that's my biggest gripe really with the figure, is just getting that sorted out. I do like this metallic teal color that we're seeing right there for his mimicking dial. And then looks like we have Vulcan legs right over here. Yeah, those are actually Shield 3-pack legs. Yeah, of course, I do think shading would have been cool to see on the figure, but their cell shading I don't really want to see from Hasbro. Well, we've seen these boots before, looking pretty good with the wrinkles, and you get peg holes at the bottom of the feet. And by the way, I did want to mention that I did swap some heads on here. I remember the Toy Biz figure had the Venom, JJJ, and Spider-Man masks to go along with it. Oh yeah, also worth mentioning, when you pop his head off, that collar is going to come off with it, so don't lose that. Don't drop it. So it is California cold out here, about 54 degrees, so I did have to heat this up before moving it around, and you can get the back of the head over that collar to make him look up that far, and he can look down that far. You're going to move the collar, there you go, so you could put it back into place like that. Pivots a little bit on that ball joint, so you do get a little bit of head tiltage, and of course it rotates side to side. No butterfly joints, but they've given this the Iron Man treatment with the shoulder pads, which I think works out very nicely. You can move the shoulders up and above the 90-degree mark. They move all the way in. You get a bicep swivel, you get the pinless double jointed elbows, and then the wrists turn side to side and hinge up and down. They don't turn at the forearm. It is a separate sculpted piece over there, which I do appreciate. You do get an ab crunch forward, which moves only a little bit forward, that much, and back a little bit more, so you get that waist cut. You can see that gappage over there, rocking a little bit back and forth. Ugh. And then you get the hips that move outward that far. You'll kick forward that far, back a little bit, upper thigh cut, and then you get the pinless double jointed knees, and then you get the calf rotation at the boot. Ankles move down. They do move up, even though we have wrinkles sculpted in there. You have to kind of shimmy it upward, and you get the beautiful ankle pivot, which is very clicky. Hear that? Very clicky ankle pivot. Wish it was smoother. Now, to measure out the height of this Chameleon figure, you can see that he is standing just a little over the 6.5-inch mark. Now, to get into some comparisons, here we go with our comic version, which is a much smaller figure compared to this cartoon version. I mean, the Marvel Legends figures have gotten larger over the years overall. I mean, even bringing in J. Jonah Jameson over here, he's a bit taller than the Chameleon, even though they share similar parts. So, let's see a head swap between these two, even though it's not really necessary. We know this head's going to look really weird on here. Hey, yeah, that does look weird on there, but not as bad as I thought. I don't know. What do you guys think? Hey, the ball peg's still the same size on these, and that looks a little bit weird too, but not as weird as I thought it was going to. I don't know. It kind of works. The head does look too small though, but I don't know. Let me know what you think. Then here's Chameleon. Next to the other figures I did head swaps with, we have J. Jonah Jameson, then the VHS 2-pack Spider-Man, and we have Venom. Then here's Chameleon next to his bro. We have the Spider-Man animated series version of Kraven, which I never reviewed. Then here's Chameleon next to the other figures from the wave that I've already reviewed. We have Spider-Boy, we have Electro, and we have the Spider-Man Unlimited figure. And here's the Chameleon next to your average 6-inch scale figure. We have the Marvel Legends Big Time Letdown Spider-Man. Hey, trust me, buddy. You don't want to go around mimicking me around here. Won't be good for you. What? Sorry. Oh my God. Well. So that's what that's like. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I certainly do appreciate you guys watching, and if you want to show some appreciation back this way by hitting that like button, well, I'd appreciate that as well. A lot of appreciation going on. If you want to see my future content, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and if you want to support this content via Patreon or membership, you could hit that join button or check the link in the description below for the early access and the live stream perks. This Chameleon figure is pretty badass, man. I really like it a lot. It's what I've wanted in an animated series Chameleon figure for the longest. I don't have many complaints about it. I guess my biggest gripe with it is just the belt being a little bit too shifty. I would have liked to see a little bit of shadowing on the blue sections of the figure, but I really wasn't expecting that. and it being an animated series version, I think it's fine the way it looks. I don't like Hasbro's cell shading, so I'm glad that they didn't do that. That would have ruined the figure for me. I think the articulation is okay. I mean, it's not the most posable character. I don't see Chameleon doing a whole bunch of crazy stuff looking like this. So, as it is, I actually really do like the figure. Yeah, that gappage in the waist is there too. Yeah, I would have liked to have had interchangeable heads to go along with it, for sure. So, there's little gripes here and there, but mostly I'm happy. At the price point of around 25 bucks, I'm going to give this Chameleon a Sud rating of...
I love it!
And I'd like to know what you guys think, so please let me know in the comment section below. If you want to see a photo gallery of images from this review, you can find it over at marvelousnews.com. And if you want to stay in touch with me on social media, you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, TikTok, and on whatnot. I will catch you guys later. Peace!
That's crispy.
You get the little subscribe button so you don't miss out my videos. I enjoyed. Fuck yeah, I did. Well, damn it.
Hey, new ShartimusPrime videos. Hey, you should click one. Yeah, click on one of them. Or subscribe if you haven't.